afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Rollins. I'm a criminal lawyer here in D.C. I'm also licensed in the state of Maryland. Today, as part of our series on field sobriety tests, we're going to be discussing horizontal gaze nystagmus. And you should see that word on the screen right now. It's a big word. And I want to discuss how police officers figure out horizontal gaze nystagmus. Now, in order to explain this, I'm going to have to break away from this for a minute, and I'm going to show you just clips on what nystagmus looks like. But what I want you to think, before I break away to the clips, what I want you to think about is the eye movement. Because this is the typical test where you see the object in the middle and the officer's asking you to follow the object. Now, how they make out to determine whether someone's intoxicated is what the eye movement does while it's going from one direction to the other. And that will make the determination of whether the officer is going to see whether the person has alcohol in their system. So pay attention to the next part, and I'll come right back to you. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are beginning this part of the presentation where what you're looking at right now is 4 eyeballs, and yes, they do look a little spooky, but this is exactly what the officer should be seeing when he's doing the horizontal gaze nystagmus test. There are 3 clues that the officer is looking for when he's running this test, and the first clue is that lack of smooth of the eye when he's having that pen or object in front of your eyes, and he's standing between 12 to 15 inches in front of your face, and he has that pen or object, and he's asking you to follow it. And so the first thing he's going to do is he's going to say that there's a lack of smooth pursuit of the eyes, and they appear to jerk or bounce as they follow the object. And that will be the first clue that he's going to rely on. And remember, he's looking for 3 clues here, so that that one clue won't do it. So the second clue is that there's a distinct sustained jerking of the eye will be more pronounced after a few seconds. So once he has you and he's telling you now, follow the pen, keep your eyes in that direction at 45-degree angle, and now he sees your eyes are bouncing or jerking. And that was the second clue that he's saying that, okay, the person did not pass on the horizontal gaze nystagmus test. And finally, that third clue that the officer will be looking for is that he's looking for an onset of jerking of the eye prior to the 45 degrees. And so he's looking, when he's having you follow the pen, he may see if the more alcohol you have in your system, the more likely there would be a jerking of the eye. Well, this is, again, according to the field test. So there are other reasons why you may have a jerking of the eye, which I'll go into at a later date, or will be discussed in future videos. So, but once the officer makes out those 3 clues, he then finds that you have used alcohol and that you've met all 3 of the clues, and he writes down his notes, which he should keep very detailed notes on, and he writes down his notes that you have failed, or he has seen all 3 clues in the horizontal gaze nystagmus test. Okay, thank you.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that part wasn't too spooky with the 4 eyeballs, each going different ways. But what I failed to mention during that part of the presentation was also that the officer is supposed to do that test twice. So that means that there would be a total of 6 times in which they would be able to read those clues. And they would only be required to have 4 of those clues met for them to meet their standards of failing the horizontal gaze nystagmus test. So if you fail 4 of those tests and the officer sees those clues 4 times during running that test twice, then they would say that you failed that part of the field test. Now, what I don't want you to fear is that there are other reasons why you may actually fail those 3 tests. And that needs to be brought out on cross-examination as well as cross-examine the officer. It's like, for instance, you could have conditions such as wind or dust getting into the eyes, which will also cause that jerking motion. You could also have distractions that the officer did not realize at the time, such as strobe lights, the flashing lights from the officers. Being too close to other traffic with lights going by, you could actually have those issues where your eyes are following other lights, and so you may get that jerking motion. So what I wanted you to understand is that there are defenses to failing that actual nystagmus test. And so all is not lost upon you failing those 3 clues. Now, we're doing a whole series on the standard field test sobriety, and I want you to watch our videos and stay tuned. There will be a lot more to show after this. Thank you, and thanks for watching, and tune into our channel. Thanks. Bye.